All right, good afternoon, traders. Today we're taking a look at symbol PXD, Pioneer Natural Resources, and I'll be the first to tell you I don't know much about the fundamentals on PXD, but it is on my radar for a couple of reasons. One, from a technical standpoint, and secondly, from a seasonal perspective. So first, let's talk about the technicals here. We're clearly in a downtrend, really, after coming up and testing this 200-day moving average is right around the 155 mark. Now today we're trading around $123, so well off of that last swing high. And this is in the wake of a pretty volatile market. The S&P was down sharply in the pre-market, then we went positive, then we went back negative a good chunk, and now we're about even as of this recording. And PXD has been relatively stable in the wake of all that. So here we're looking at a daily chart, and I've got two horizontal or sloping lines on my chart. These were derived from looking at a longer term picture here on a weekly chart. So looking at a weekly chart, you can see we've kind of got this wedge or this consolidation going on in PXD. We're kind of bouncing or pinging around this $200, $220 range down to 104, 105. That's a pretty large range. But notice that last week we put a bullish reversal candle off of an area or a price level or a price structure area that we have been down to before and have rejected. We did it here, didn't quite get it here, but we got it a few weeks in a row here and then again right here. So this to me is an important level of price structure, cluing me in that we could possibly rebound off that level. Now, if we start cracking with conviction and hold below these levels, then my tune would turn more to the bear camp. Also have these lines here, red, blue, green, and green. These are from my 1, 2, 3 top and bottom indicator, or the 3S code. We just recently released it for the TradingView platform, which we're very excited about. And notice how reliable it's been in the last, say, 5, 6, or 7 instances that we've had this particular pattern. Now, we don't have one right at the moment on a weekly chart. You can see that it is forming. We have a 1 and a potential 2. But notice that we had a nice move here from 147 up to 170. Another short here from 185 down to about 160. And then again over here, 134 up to 165. Here from 126 up to 140. Here's another short from 200 down to 163. And then we had one here that was a false breakout. And so that one would have been a loser. So we do have this forming on a weekly chart. We also have a bullish reversal candle. We go back to the daily chart. You can see that we do have our same 1, 2, 3 pattern forming, but on the lower time frame, which is the daily. So you can see that, as indicated by this white X, that we have triggered or broke through the number 2 area. So what we'd be looking for ideally is for the market to come back and hook up, back up above the number 2 level. So once we get that and we have a confirmed close above that number 2 point, that's an area that we would look to get long, either by buying the stock, buying calls, call options, or perhaps selling out of the money put spreads. What I'd also like to do is just draw a short-term down trend line to give us added confirmation. So more conservative traders may want to wait for a break or confirmation break above that trend line before considering to get long. So from the technical point of view, we have the support that we talked about here, and then we would be looking for targets up here per our 3S code indicator up here around 140. And I'll draw another line, and you can see that that's going to put us right here at the 50-day moving average, which also happens to be another area of price structure. So this past support here is going to be a resistance. So all right around here in this area, and we can draw a circle, is going to be our target area right here at the 140 level. Now, I mentioned 2 key items that we're looking at this stock. One was technicals. The second is seasonal. So I wanted to cross-reference this stock on my Smart Seasonal Stocks software. And so I ran a scan only on PXD, Pioneer Natural Resources, looking for trades that have won at least 80% of the time, last at least 10 days, but no more than 45, with about 10 years plus history. And so I found this trade starting on or around August 28th, which we're a couple weeks away, and last about 35 to 40 calendar days with an end date of around the 1st of October. So you can see that this trade has been profitable 80% of the time, or 8 out of the last 10 years. Average profit or gains been about 10%, with only an average drawdown of about 6%. So you can see the complete trade history down here below on this table, and you can also see what's happened year over year since 2009. So we had the 2 losing years in 11 and 14, and the equity graph if you took that trade every year since 2009. So that's the approach I take. Is I don't blindly take a trade just because of seasonality, or I don't blindly take a trade just because of technicals. I want to marry the two together to make a solid trade decision, and so we're going to be keeping this one on the radar. Hope it helps, and we'll see you on the next update.